Hi everybody, Beanmeister22 here. Today we are going to look at carpenter ants. That's right, carpenter ants. Creepy big black ants that bite ya. Yeah, I know. These things range in size from about 8 millimeters to 25 millimeters. That's approximately, a third of an inch to an inch. These things are huge. They are mean. They are badass bugs. But here's the thing about carpenter ants. They're called carpenter ants because, they work with wood and you see them chewing on wood. Is that why they're called? I think so. Carpenter ants don't even eat wood. That's right, they're not termites. They just burrow in wood and then chop it up and they make nests in wood. They actually eat sugar, honey, sweet things. They'll scavenge and eat dead bugs and bug parts and stuff, but they mostly like the carbs. They eat honeydew. You know that weird stuff that aphids make? That's why you've heard of carpenter ants farming aphids for the food. Pretty weird, right? So these carpenter ants, I put them in a container, and look, they've already laid some eggs inside that little container I was holding them in. The funny thing is, I caught these carpenter ants in 2 different locations. 4 I caught in one place, and 1 I caught in another place, and they're just all being friends. Were they from the same original nest? I don't know. Are they just such social creatures that, hey, there's an ant, I'm going to be another ant? I don't know. And today, you can tell, we are using our KKMoon video microscope, which, remember, isn't really a microscope for looking at germs. It's a microscope for looking at circuit boards. So we can get a close-up view. Look at the mandibles on that thing, them big pinchy things. I remember I was a little kid. I was probably kindergartenish, and I was laying on the floor at my friend's house. We were playing Army Men, little plastic Army Men. Anyways, this carpenter ant comes up and bites me on the arm. And it hurt. I mean, it pinches, right? And I lift my arm up, and I get up, and the thing's still just hanging from my arm. And you had to, flick it off. These things, if they pinch you with them big mandible and big jaw-looking things, yes, it will hurt. So what we got going on here with these eggs, I'm not sure. These eggs are really tiny. They're shaped like a Tic Tac. In the video here, they look like Tic Tacs. They are not yellow Tic Tacs. They are ant eggs. I have no idea who laid them, which one of these ants laid them, who's the queen. I don't know. Do you have to have a queen ant in order to lay eggs? I don't know. There is one ant in particular. You can see here, it has its mandibles around those eggs. It's not eating them, just kind of there. You can see the antennae moving around quite a bit. I mean, if you didn't know these were ant eggs, you'd say, yeah, that ant's eating those eggs. That is not what's happening. But to be honest with you, I have no idea what really is happening. But I can say this ant probably isn't eating them eggs because them eggs ain't disappearing. And yes, these ants are creepy looking. Even though they seem, sleeping or tired or not moving around too much. And we got one and, kind of excited, likes to wander around the container. On the opposite side of the container is where we have the honey. I put some honey in there so they can eat. At least keep them alive long enough to film, right? They are pests and we don't want them here. It's not like I'm going to set these outside. When I found the first one, I said, hey, I am going to feed it to a black widow. See what it does to a black widow. And I thought about it, man, this could do some damage to one of the black widows. But I guess that's good. Then we know what takes care of black widows. So zooming in, yeah, that's one thing I don't like about this microscope. When you zoom in, it gets grainy. There's nothing you can do about it, even on its best settings. You try to focus it, you can add more light. But man, even though it looks grainy, it's still creepy as heck, because an ant, boy, these things coming after you, think a giant, 16-foot ant, rah, that thing would just eat you, no problem. I know, ants are horrible. And we've seen in those videos that Leo Kim Video has done, and them ants, they are ruthless. Yeah. So if you had 16-foot ants coming at you, roar, that would be horrible. Now, I don't know how to tell what kind of ants these are, because, there's different types of carpenter ants. There's that, but also I can't tell you if it's a worker ant, if it's a queen ant, if it's another, I don't know. And it doesn't really matter, because all I'm doing is I caught them, I'm filming them, and man, they are creepy. See those little hairs on those ants? Every bug has tiny, tiny hairs. You just can't see them until you put them under the microscope on some bugs. That is creepy. Man, the only thing creepier would be giant sharks coming after you. Yeah. And even on its body there, I don't know what it's called, it's got those weird hairs. Yeah, those eggs, they look like little yellow Tic Tacs. Yeah, they are not little yellow Tic Tacs, so don't try to eat them. Still not sure what that one ant is doing. Can we assume she might be the queen because she's the one who's really guarding the eggs? But then again, right next to her, it looks like there's an ant that's even bigger. So would that be the queen? Maybe you ant experts could tell me some of this stuff. I was going to transfer these into another container, but then once I saw the eggs in there, I'm really not sure what I'm going to do. Maybe I'll put a piece of wood in there for them to chew on, because they have to make some kind of nest. But apparently they didn't care enough. They just dropped them eggs right there in the middle of the dish. Well, not middle of the dish, in the edge of the dish, but still. They apparently do not care where they lay eggs. And I would really be interested to see if these eggs will actually hatch and turn into baby ants. I mean, that would be interesting. Really not sure how that works. I mean, yeah, they lay an egg and it turns into an ant. I'm pretty sure that's how it works, but I don't know how long it takes for the egg to hatch, or what happens when they're small, or the honey that these ants are eating, if they can eat it, or if they... I don't know. Man, that is a creepy looking ant. Look at all the little ant hairs. Ant hairs. That's a weird word, right? So yeah, these ants got some antennae action. Them antennas moving around and their heads bobbing. Even when they're not really wandering around and doing ant-like things, you can see you get some little movement on them antennas. They're just always feeling around, seeing what's going on. Like a cat's whiskers. Maybe that's how they... No, it's not an antenna like they're getting radio signals. They're talking to each other over the radio, and they use the antennas, built-in radios. Breaker. Yeah, that's not how it's working. Man, these things are creepy. Extra creepy. I just wish I had a better microscope. I mean, $120, $130, this is all you get. $150, this, I don't even remember what I paid for this. It was over $100. So between $100 and $200, this is what you get when it comes to a video microscope. I need to, like I said, I need to buy a better one, but you got to work with what you got, right? Yeah, big old creepy ants. Near as I can figure, these eggs have only been laid, well, for less than a week, obviously, but I'm really guessing between the last 3 to 5 days, because they've only been in that container for about 6 days, 5 days-ish. I was going to film them, and then I didn't, and then I had to work, and then I didn't have time, and then I had a day off, and here we are now. So, yeah. I'm guessing, well, I tried to count. It was hard to tell. Between 14 and 20 eggs it looks like they have there. Maybe more if it's underneath. I don't want to disturb the eggs. I know, they're bugs. Who cares? But yeah, man, this is creepy. And just think what them 20 or so eggs could do, and then the eggs they could make, and then how, yeah, ooh. All right, so do you know anything about carpenter ants? Do you think they're creepy like I do? Could you imagine these giant things wandering around your neighborhood? Ugh. Sure, they've made some kind of horror movies with giant ants wandering around the neighborhood eating people, but yeah, they are vicious, and they are fast, too, when they want to be. I don't know why they're lethargic and sitting here. Maybe because they're nesting? I don't know. So I'll leave your comments in the comment section. Hey, as always, thanks for watching.
Beanmeister 22, the most dangerous man on YouTube.